You know, it's really the final episode when I change texture packs for it. It's a momentary occasion when I think I'm out of college stories. I mean, I think I am. That is to say, like, I only planned out these 3 last episodes because I don't think I have more stories to go after this. I mean, like, what's there to say? There really isn't much. Like, there's like 3 other semesters I haven't touched yet. Yeah, 0 stories coming out of those, I do have to say. This guy is good at blocking. I should have checked, like, the IGNs. But I have a texture pack that I didn't use on the other videos, so therefore that makes me good at blocking even more. My name is the lava. What a sad time. But basically, today, we're basically going to do what is called the character development arc, where we're just going to touch on the other 3 semesters and check out the evolution of how that happened compared to me ending college. I mean, not ending college, but ending the 3rd year of college, you know? The character growth, basically. So basically, in the 1st semester, we need to start off with what matters. And what matters is that you need to have one thing in your head. I did not care about having college in the 1st semester. I really was not there because I wanted to. That's basically the one thing you need to know. And with my way of looking at life, if you're doing something that you're forced to do and you really don't like it, then you best ruin the hell out of it and try to have as much fun as possible while not giving a single crap. And that's basically how I took college, while everyone else was being incredibly serious, because I just did not want to be there. I didn't even care about... I didn't even know the classes I was going to have. I just signed up for a course that had English, because that's what I was good at, pretty much. And so that's why in that 1st semester, we have quite a few interesting stories to tell. Well, and by interesting, I mean stories that make me the most hated character in any TV show if this was not actually real. But it's real, so you just have to wonder some things. I also think that this guy is just incredibly fun to fight. Wouldn't you all agree? We have 5 players left, and this guy is just making it incredibly clear that he wants to win this game. Oh no, look, he's bowing. This is just fantastic. Oh, and he's running again. I might have hit him one too many times with a sword, you never know. And he's going back to there. Oh man, if you're gonna do that thing with a bow, you best at least hit the arrow or knock on the water. That also could be a beneficial thing for you to do. Yeah, what do? We go over here, he's still using his bow. How many arrows could he possibly have left? I only have 27. So it is strange. Go up in there. Wow, I got a golden head out of that. Truly a fantastic thing, and I didn't even get better armor. Alright, we'll go after this guy now. I don't know if I'm gonna win this match. That's why the commentary is really not that hype. Because, like, come on, I just have 1 head left. It's not looking too good. There's only 4 players remaining. It really isn't looking too good. But basically, in this 1st semester, we had English. And the moment we had our 1st class and the teacher didn't know how to pronounce continuous and pronounce it as continuous, I knew I was in for a ride. I do have to say. I knew I was in for a great time of having English as my major. Come on, person. Come back here. But basically, there started quite a good reason why people don't do group works with me anymore. Which was that in one day, we were assigned by the teacher that we had to do a group work about, like, one of the themes of the book. You know, there was environment, there were other topics. I really didn't care, I'm not gonna lie. I legit wasn't even planning to do the presentations. Like, it was groups of 2 or 3, and I didn't ask anyone. Because I really couldn't care less. But the problem was that other people apparently did care. And when I was waiting for the bus one day, one person went up to me and asked me to be on a group with them. And I said yes. Looking back at it now, I really should have said no. But, you know, past me just didn't care about anybody as well as the classes. So if I was going to screw someone up, I really didn't care if that was going to happen. But again, I'm totally not a terrible person. I kind of was back then, but that's not the point. And basically, she gave me her phone number, and I gave her hers, but we never texted. I mean, I'm only gonna say that's 50% my fault because she also didn't text me, so it's just like, eh. What was I meant to do? She had my phone number. But like, you know, we had the presentation ready, and by ready I mean like she told me what theme she wanted to do, which was environment. I'm like, okay. So on the day of the presentation, here I come to class. We never talked once since that day, which, yeah, definitely kind of weird when to look back on it. But she had an entire PowerPoint ready. I had done none of that, by the way. I had done no help. Just, I need to make it clear how bad of a person I was in that semester. I really do. And I really just, I came in there and I told her, yo, can you go on Google Maps? I just need you to put the Google Maps on this exact place. And that is everything I need for my part of the presentation. So she does her presentation about the environment, about like, I really don't remember what it was. I just remembered that it had a lot of slides of PowerPoint and it was super well organized. And so my part of it comes, and I just completely change it. Like I completely change the topics. It's still environment, but it has nothing to do with our presentation. And I decide, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to do an entire presentation about how when I was 4 years old, I used to go to a mountain, step on the stairs. And no joke, that is what I did. That was my entire presentation, and the Google Maps place was literally just up the mount where I used to step on the stick line. So here's where the problem where that happened. Here's where the problem with that was. We got the grades for it, and you think that either we'd get a grade as a group because we're a group work, or that I'd get punished for joking around and she'd get, you know, praised. Turns out I get a 17 out of 20 and she gets a 10 out of 20. Yeah, I really don't think that was fair. And let's just say that people still to this day talk about me because of that. Talk behind my back about it because of that, which is like, you know, deserved. But that wasn't the only thing I did during that semester. Let's just, looking back at it, I was a terrible person that semester. Because there was another class, which was about like technology. It was like introduction to communications in technology. And we basically had to create a website and like do like a small thing in code about ourselves. Let's just say that I had another brilliant moment. Because for the code thing, where other people are just making 5 pages things, I was like, I don't know how to do most of this thing in the coding. I just know the very basic thing of click here to go to another page. So I'm gonna make like a story mode game where people can click and we'll have different endings depending on the options they pick, and it's all about learning about me. Truly, a fantastic time. And then let's just not bring up the part that the game was about 2 of my friends. No. No. Really, me of the first year did not have a speck of consideration for other human beings. I really feel embarrassed of making this video, but it's about character development, and you only get to the highs of today by going through the lows of every terrible thing you did during that first year. And then, if you think that's bad, no, because we had a second group work then. Oh yeah, the first was individual, but the second was a group work. And again, I didn't ask anybody to be on the group because thankfully I knew that would be a terrible idea. But I also didn't care at all about the subject. And the theme was that we were supposed to make a website for a company or for a specific type of group of like people. So I was like, you know what? What if I make my website about a company? Like I'll create a company, and it's going to be about a specific type of group as well, because it's going to be a website for people who can't be arsed to do university works. Yes, I literally did that. And delivered it for like the presentation. Because, and then I just, like, I remember like the tagline of it was like, gender. Yeah, I remember, like, the tag I ended up creating for it. It was actually really good. Like, gender. Great excuses for not doing university, projects. Great excuses for not doing university projects. And then like the entire website was just like me explaining excuses for like how not to do a presentation, how not to do like an essay, how not. I really was having a fun time that first semester. I really was. I didn't care about anything. I am jealous of myself back then. I would have been the type of person that would have done anything at all if I had been asked. Because that's just how little I cared. And if you think that the teacher was, you know, perhaps a bit, you know, in the mood to kick me completely out of college for me making work at such a high institution about, like, how I didn't want to do uni works. But no, I got a 12. And, you know, 12 out of 20 is still a passing grade, so who cares? And I'm pretty sure it wasn't even about the theme. It was just the fact that I didn't know a lot about coding at all. I really just knew the very basics, so it's a deserved grade. But still hilarious that while everyone else probably did like some very good companies or things like that, I just didn't care. Which just signs up that first semester perfectly. Or it would have if there wasn't an even worse situation, which was so bad that it actually made me change. Because I mean, imagine if I actually hadn't changed and I was still doing stuff like that. Like imagine, I probably would have, imagine if instead of doing a presentation about my birthday and having stuff about positive psychology, I would have just done a presentation about my birthday and that would have been it. You know, to be fair, I haven't changed that much. At least not in English. But basically, there was the story of something that I did a lot worse than those other two cases. Which was the final test that we had about Introduction to Literature on the first semester. Because on that class, there were no works. It was just the final test and that was it. And on that test, all that we had to do was analyze a poem. So you see, during the classes, there was a specific guy in them that was often like called out by the teacher, and like the teacher made a lot of jokes about this guy. So like it was kind of funny. The teacher made jokes about a student, everyone laughed. Like that guy was definitely the teacher's favorite, so to say. So let's just say that maybe when I was answering the test, I not only analyzed the text in the poem in form of a poem, like seriously, I wrote like in form of a poem, like the analysis I did for the text for the poem, which was great, honestly. It actually probably took a lot more effort than actually typing the words out. But then at the end of the text, I go and say that if I don't get a 10 out of 20, it's because of that guy. And I put it on the text, and then I show it to other people, including that guy. Seriously, my idiotic brain could not process how dumb I was. Let's just say that this time people really didn't take it well. But I still got a 14 out of 20 in the test, so you know, can you really be that angry? But yeah, I did apologize to the guy immediately after actually realizing that maybe just because I didn't care about college didn't mean that other people there didn't. And that I should probably treat them like human beings if I wanted them to do the same. So, you know, that's what happened. And then the following semester, I actually did start caring a bit more about classes. And actually became more friends with, like, the people there. And that's where, like, all the niceness started. And that's when I actually started liking going to college. And that's what brings us to today. Because if you look back at like 2 videos ago, when I mentioned English literature, what happened was that, again, because of me telling the teacher about the work that we did online and stuff, and that audio video, all of the grades of my group went up. When if I hadn't mentioned that thing, my grades of the war, like the group, not only would I have failed the subjects, but like my classmates would have with just whatever the grades they had at that point. So basically, that's how the change goes. From me like doing a group work where I didn't care at all about my classmates and actually making them have worse grades in comparison to me, to now in the last group work of the semester, me actually working well with my teammates. I need a helmet. Me actually working well with my group works and getting their grade to actually increase because of the work I did. Because it was due to like the voice thing, because she hadn't seen like the voice part of the work yet. So when she saw that, the part that I did, she raised everyone's grades. So it's just like, you know, character development. So before I hated doing group works with people, now I only hate doing group works with people that I don't like, which is progress. And finally, before I was hated by everyone because of being a stupid idiot, now I have made friends. And one of them gave me a handshake. And I actually went to the movies with them once. And like, you know, the friendship rock, the selfie. It's all a happy time. And one owes me a cake! I forgot to say this for the 3rd episode. One owes me a cake! I'll remember this forever, I tell you! You've been one person's been owing me a cake for 1.5 years. I will never forget this. But yeah, that is the story of me in college. Also, there was a time where once for my birthday, someone gave me a pack of bubble gum, and I remembered them forever. And then when it was their birthday, I actually gave them a Star Wars cup and a lot of other things. But fun other stories aside, that was me in college. A wonderful time where I started as an asshole that just wanted to have a laugh at things and mocked literally every subject and still got good grades, to someone that actually made friends and people that I liked, and and I still make fun of things, but it was in a better way, a more fun way that it also was entertaining for everyone. And now college is almost over, just literally 2 classes left to do next year. And it was without a doubt the best experience of my life. And the pink sheep is staring at me. I think I agree with you, Pink Sheep. I do agree with you. But yeah, that was the series of stories of college. Bye bye.